Okay, yeah, I'm back. My grandma had to call me while I was doing a video. Yeah, so that looks like a goblin shark. Yep, cool.
Ray of light for 5.5 million years.
Wait,
That has a completely...
what?
Number 8. Movile Cave. In southeastern Romania, there is a cave that was locked away from the slightest ray of light for 5.5 million years. And that has a completely different atmosphere from the Earth. The cave was discovered by workers looking to set up a power plant. They tested the ground to see if it was a safe place to build.
Hell?
And cracked open a pathway that leads into one of the strangest places on Earth. If you descend through the narrow shaft and past a series of tunnels,
What is it?
you enter a chamber with a lake of sulfuric water stinking of rotten eggs. The air there is toxic, filled with hydrogen sulfide, and contaminated with 100 times the surface's level of carbon dioxide.
Ew.
The strangest part, though, is that a whole ecosystem has survived inside it. Researchers have found 33 species inside the cave that don't exist anywhere outside of it.
33 new species.
Survive in a sulfuric atmosphere.
God damn.
Living by feeding off a foam on top of the stones. Number 7. Lake Karachay. The Soviet Union had many nuclear facilities. And
it's
most
a
of
nuclear
them were
lake.
ill-planned and unsafe.
Radioactive.
Inside one such factory, there is a lake. The lake's water has more radioactive
holy
material
fuck,
than
it's a
anywhere else
bloody
on
lake.
Earth. Lake Karachay is so radioactive that you will die within an hour if you stand near it. Soviets dumped nuclear waste
near it. Oh my gosh.
To the lake. Their nuclear practices have caused a few problems with the lake in the past.
Fuck.
In 1957, an explosion blew the factory apart, and the radioactive particles spread more than 23,000 kilometers.
Not good.
The area is more radioactive than Chernobyl. The lake has been covered with concrete to keep these disasters from happening. Still, the entire place is eerily unstable and massively radioactive. Number 6. The Doubletree of Casorzo. In the countryside of Piemonte, Italy, there is an unusual sight. There is a cherry tree there that looks, in most respects, just like...
Just like what?
Only 100,000.
You don't need that.
Just start playing it.
Any other healthy cherry tree.
Yeah.
Except that it happens to be growing directly on top of a mulberry tree.
A what?
This isn't completely unprecedented. Parasitic trees have grown out of others before, but normally they are small, stunted things that live short lives before falling off.
Then how is this impossible?
The Doubletree of Casorzo, though, consists of 2 fully
Whoa,
formed
that looks sick.
trees, each spreading its branches
Holy
5
shit.
meters across. Nobody quite knows how it happened. The locals believe that a bird may have dropped a cherry seed on top of the mulberry tree. The seed grew roots that pushed through the mulberry tree's hollow trunk and reached all the way to the soil below, letting it survive and
Is that all
grow
you need to
into a
do?
full, healthy tree. Number 5. The sleeping city of Kalachi. The city of Kalachi, Kazakhstan is not Disney's creation. It is as real as it gets. Citizens of Kalachi face a very peculiar epidemic. People just collapse into naps randomly, even while walking on the road.
You serious?
They also report memory loss, fatigue, and hallucinations.
Well, don't live there.
The epidemic affects people from all genders and ages. Kazakhstan has even recommended evacuations, but they are no closer to solving the problem. One theory suggests that the residents are facing some kind of radiation poisoning, since the area is near a uranium mine. However, there are flaws in that theory. All the blood tests and other monitoring has turned up 0 evidence. Secondly, there is a town which is closer to the mine than Kalachi, and they have reported no such
What the
epidemic.
fuck? Who sleeps like that?
Number 4. Circles of Namibia.
Okay.
There is an ecological mystery sitting throughout Namibian deserts. There are fields of grass with circles carved in them at regular intervals. The circles are almost perfectly created and can range from 10 to 65 feet
Looks like
in
the
diameter.
moon.
And by the way, if you were thinking of the movie The Signs, you are not alone.
No, I wasn't.
Forget explaining the circles.
I really
Scientists
wasn't.
are not even sure of the more basic questions, such as, why are there circles?
How
Why
is that
not any
impossible,
random
though?
shape? Nothing grows in these
Where's the
circle
water that
patches.
goes straight down?
Scientists have come up with various theories, and all have been debunked almost immediately. In 2013, Norbert Jurgens, an environmental scientist, said that termites were the cause of the circles. But in 2015, biologist Walter Schinkel tested the hypothesis and disproved it.
Oh, no one cares
Number
about
3,
circle
the hum
grass.
of Taos. A barely audible buzzing sound that you cannot pinpoint can infuriate you. We have
Oh.
all been there when a distant lawnmower or our TV starts making a buzz.
Oh, yeah.
And unless and until we don't find where it's coming from, it feels like our brain is eating itself from the inside.
No, not
Now
really.
imagine the pain and frustration of residents of Taos in New Mexico. Since the early 1990s, large numbers of residents of Taos have complained about a constant humming sound. It can be heard all around the town and has driven people nuts.
Baby,
For 20
leave!
years,
Leave
various
your
investigators have
town.
tried to locate the hum, but to no success. Some scientists have hypothesized that the town's residents are super hearers who can detect sound that ordinary humans can't. But doesn't that raise more questions than it answers?
No.
Number 2, never-ending lightning storm. In western
Oh,
Venezuela,
it's like
over
Jupiter with the big
Catatumbo
storm.
River, there is a storm that
Holy
never
fuck.
ceases.
Whoa! Earth is popping a fat vortex. Fuck, imagine just jumping in that. Oh, that'd be sick.
Starting at 7 p.m. every night, lightning crashes over the water for 10 hours every night, 260 nights each year. Nobody knows for sure why it happens. Up until recently, the leading theory was that it had something to do with uranium in the bedrock, although scientists are starting to doubt it.
You sure?
Today,
Yeah.
the leading theory is a complicated one. It posits that the shape of the mountains cause warm trade winds to collide with cold air from the Andes. That collision is then fueled by the rapidly evaporating water below and methane from a nearby oil
Yes,
field.
because that's how storms
Nobody
are made.
actually knows for sure, though, why it happens.
It's probably that.
Everything about it is mysterious.
No, it's
including
not.
one moment in 2010 when it inexplicably stopped. One day, the storm just died down without explanation and seemed for a while to be over. Then, after 6 weeks of silence, it sparked up again and has been raging ever since.
Holy fucking shit.
Number 1, the boiling river. Deep
So-
in the Amazon,
There's no water drop off. So, that was clickbait.
lies a river 4 miles long.
You clickbaited
and
me.
unlike any other on Earth. The
Wow, what a
Shenandoah is
dick!
so hot
What a
that
dick!
Any animal that steps
Why do you
into it gets
clickbait me,
boiled
huh?
alive. When a hapless creature wanders in, the eyes cook first, melting in its skull.
Well, that means
Soon,
you're
the
blind.
animal is in too much pain to keep swimming to safety.
Well, don't
Water
swim.
fills its mouth and lungs, and it is cooked from the inside out.
Good.
The river gets as hot as 91 degrees Celsius.
That's not that hot. My
196
spa's hotter.
degrees Fahrenheit. And scientists aren't completely sure why. Normally, water
Because-
that gets this hot is fed by a volcano.
Well, then
But this
maybe
one
it's
is
above a
700
volcano.
kilometers removed from the nearest
Oh, that
one.
looks cool.
There is a theory, though. Scientists believe that boiling hot water from under the earth cracks through fault lines and heats up the river, making
No
the
shit.
water a
No shit. You clickbaited me. I don't give a fuck who you are. Mind blogger clickbaited me. Mind blogger. I'm gonna be bigger than you one day. Do you understand? Don't clickbait me ever again.